Today, we've done the stories in Florida. When somebody's black selling their house, the appraisers will come in and literally give them a value $100,000 to $300,000 less because they're black. You know that that's actually happened, right?
You'll take one story and say that.
Oh my God!
What's going on, family? Welcome back to the From the Bottom FS Reaction channel, man. Today, we have Patrick David on the channel for the first time, along with Roland Martin, and we're discussing systemic racism in the U.S., man. Should be a good one. So as always, let's go ahead and get right into it. Come on.
27 out of top 30 cities in America in crime ran by Democrats. Why?
First, I will tell you. First of all, it's where African Americans are living. So let's bring up Chicago in particular. What you have had in Chicago is you've had some of the greatest racial segregation, not in 20 years, not in 30 years, but literally in 100 plus years.
Led by Democrats.
No, hold on. Here's the deal, though. Okay, I will show you how Mississippi has the largest percentage of black people in America, run by Republicans, broke as hell. Explain that. Explain me the highest. Tell me when you have. Hold on. Wait.
Don't spin.
No, I'm not spinning.
No, don't change.
No. What I'm
Let's
showing
stay
you.
on topic.
Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Let's stay on topic.
We're
the
on
topic is crime 27 out of 30, not economic. Economic is a different story.
No, it's not.
But I agree with you that we need to get the financial situation.
No. And you're making the mistake.
You went to Mississippi. No, you're making the mistake.
No. Here's the mistake you're making.
27 out of 30.
Here's the mistake you're making. When you say crime, I just obliterated a black conservative in my show on this whole issue. When you say crime, you have to then say, okay, what creates crime? No, what creates crime? What creates crime?
When people are not doing well financially.
What else?
Your surrounding and environment, who you're around.
No, what else?
Pick up habits.
What else?
Bad policies.
No. What else? See, you're jumping to policies.
But it is bad policies. Wait a minute.
No.
If I lead a company,
Roland, the underpinning. Hold on, wait.
If I run a company and I'm the CEO of the company, if the company improves or doesn't improve is based on my policies. I'm the head running the company, the department. If it doesn't improve, it's because of me.
So let me.
What else would it be?
So let me lay it out to you again.
Go for it.
When you talk about what is the underpinning of crime, John Hope Bryant, founder of Operation Hope, this is what he said. He said, "Show me a community where you've seen a riot with a credit score of 700 or higher." The reality is, when you talk about crime in this country, you're talking about economics, you're talking about education, you're talking about housing, you're talking about health. Show me areas where you do not have high crime. I'm going to show you areas that don't have the same, aren't as compacted. That's first. What you have is, when you talk about crime in places, you then look at what are the numbers of people there, what are the pockets there, what are those communities, and how did those communities, how were they created literally not over 20, 30 years, but literally over 50, 75, 100 years? Now, that was Jim Crow.
How many years does it take to change?
What are you talking about?
How many years does it take to create change?
How
long does it take to create change?
First of all, you're talking about a black in America.
How long does it take to create change?
When you have had, walk through 243 years of slavery.
Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, man. I would, based off what I've seen myself, I would say at least 2 generations. If you were set back in your previous generation, due to whatever circumstance, it would probably take at least 1 generation or 2 to be, where you want to be financially, within your society. Maybe 1 or 2 generations. But after that, hey, you gotta push forward, man. Let's keep it going.
92 years of Jim Crow, and then you get to 1970 when you are technically fully free. You can't act like all of that before did not impact. The issues that you're having now have to do with not Democratic or Republican policies. It has to do with literally white supremacy and Jim Crow in America. We are still, to act as if we are still not dealing with that. How did housing discrimination take place in this country? Do you know who created it? The realtors. They apologize for it.
Why are you going away from the question?
No, because
Roland,
here's the deal, though. You don't want to deal with what creates crime areas.
You got to realize.
So even like right here, it seems like to me they're on the opposite side of the spectrum. I think Roland's kind of saying like, it takes time to overcome the financial debt and the financial, burdens that were placed on you, what I'm saying, from the past generation. And I don't know. The other side of this thing is what he was saying was like, yo, how long does it take for you to move forward? How long does it take for you to be successful? Are you going to let what happened before you hold you back from being successful in your lifetime? So the polar opposites are on this topic. Interested to see how it's going to play out.
Listen,
I'm dealing with the real truth. How they create it. What you're dealing with is, there are Democratic areas. What I'm dealing with is how do you deal with the historical reality of neighborhoods that simply can't be just, we elected one person and then it's going to change it.
Roland,
doesn't work that way.
Roland, I'm Middle Eastern, okay? I was born in Iran.
And another note is, I think on the left side, not left side, but on the left side of things, he's more so saying, where's the accountability? At some point, you have to, take charge of what's going on around you and not let, previous things hold you back, man. Like, where's the accountability here? That's where I see the biggest downfall between this conversation right here. But needs to be had, man. Let's go.
That simply can't be just, we elected one person and then it's going to change it.
Roland,
doesn't work that way.
Roland, I'm Middle Eastern, okay? I was born in Iran, 10 years. My mother's a communist. My dad's an imperialist. We escape. We go to Germany. I lived at a refugee camp for 2 years, okay, with people who are Yugoslavian, Czech, Albanian at the time, and they're all leaving for a reason. I come to the States, okay? I'm a welfare baby. I'm a food stamp baby.
Okay.
Just letting you know, my parents are divorced twice in 20 years. I'm going to Glendale High School. I have a lunch ticket. I would sell because I don't have any money. I'm 6'1", 130 pounds. That should tell you the fact that we don't come from a lot of money. One day, I'm in the school, and my teacher starts talking about politics. Up until that point, when I think about politics, all I think about is divorce. Because I think about my mom and dad arguing all the time. I have a lot of pain linked to politics at the time. And the teacher's obviously the teacher's going to be a Democrat because she's presenting how rich people are this rich. I'm like, okay, great, rich people are bad. So I come home.
I obviously
13-1. That's the number. That's
dude. I had a whole lot of damn Republican teachers in my life.
Well, I like stats, and the stats are 13-1 is Democrats to Republican. You know the stats. So I come home and I say, Mom, are we Republicans or Democrats? And she said, we're Democrats. I said, tell me why. She says, because the Democrats are for the poor, Republicans are for the rich. So my mom says. You know what?
And just to harp on that a little bit more, you guys, that is a very real thing, man. It's like within families and within just environments, like the image of Republicans are, the businessmen, the folks that, only care about money, don't care about the people, only care about the next dollar, not necessarily the next person. And that's always been the stereotype for Republicans for a long time. And on the Democratic side, you got, they're always there for you. They care about you. They care about your feelings. And when you as you grow older, man, you realize like none of that's really true. You know what I mean? These folks who are in these higher positions don't really care about you, dog. And I mean, they're here to better themselves financially, while putting out an image as though they're trying to represent you in your state. But that's an interesting thing from his perspective, where his mom's kind of telling him what to identify as here. But him being an individual and an individual thinker, he kind of thought on his own, and this is probably why he became successful here. This guy right here also served in the military as well. So he's literally from nothing and made it to be a very successful businessman, man. I think he owned like a financial company, PHP. So this, like, his story is kind of dope. Let's get back into it.
And she said, we're Democrats. I said, tell me why. She says, because the Democrats are for the poor, Republicans are for the rich. So my mom says. You know what I told her? I said, when I grow up, I want to be a Republican. Not because I want to be a Republican. I don't know what the policies are.
So first of all, who's actually for the rich and the poor? Who?
Who is for the rich and the
Yeah,
poor?
she said it. She said Republicans for the rich, Democrats are for the poor. Is that you say you love? Is it true or not?
First of all,
is it true or not?
Whether that's true, statistically, more rich people are on the Democratic side today than the Republican side.
But no. You say who are for, not who's rich, but who are they for the policy?
But Roland, this is you. You're smart.
No, your mom said it.
I understand, but you're a smart guy, bro. Listen, when I watch you, you're not a dummy. You're very smart, okay? So sometimes John Maxwell says something very important that I completely held to myself. And every time I break this, I don't like it. He said, the moment you learn sales and you learn persuasion, okay? The moment you learn the ability how to persuade, you, me, we learn how to persuade. He says, be very careful to not go one step above that, which is to manipulate just to win all arguments, because you can. You can win any argument if you want to. You can play devil's advocate and flip the argument, play the Republican side, and you make one hell of an argument to beat a Democrat, because you can do that. You have the ability, I have the ability as well. I don't want to do that. What I'm asking you right now is the following. Results. Today,
yes.
27 out of 30 cities.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't see him trying to manipulate the argument or trying to, I think he's asking him very specific questions. He asked about his mom. So who's for the rich, who's for the poor? He kind of didn't answer that question. I felt like he kind of, I don't know, breezed past it a little bit, but he kind of went into some other stuff. But I don't think that Roland's, trying to be manipulative here. I think he's trying to ask questions to gain a better understanding of, so he can learn something, I guess, here as well. Let's get back into it.
Results. Today.
Yes.
27 out of 30 cities.
Yes.
That are ran by Democrats are the highest crime in America. That's stats.
What states are those in? What are those states?
The states are different than the community.
New York, Chicago,
no,
LA.
But that's not the thing. The state is the community. The city is where.
What are you talking about?
The city you're in is what you can touch. Every year you come up and you say, "Reelect me. I can help."
The state. Listen, I am born and raised in Texas, Houston, Clinton Park. To act as if. What? No.
Oh, so then what you're saying is, let's stop voting for mayors. They're a waste of time.
No, see,
because they can't do anything.
First of all, I didn't say that. Let me finish my thought. I am born and raised in Houston, Texas. Grew up in Clinton Park neighborhood. To act as if what happens in Austin does not have an impact on Houston is crazy.
You're making excuses now.
No, I'm not.
You're making excuses.
Okay, here's the deal, though. See, it's real easy to say it's excuses.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Roland on that point, though. That's a good point because, like, right now, I'm in North Carolina at the moment, right? And right now, in the state of North Carolina, the city of Raleigh is booming, right? It's the fastest growing city in the nation right now. It's fastest growing. Everything's just booming here. And because of that, other cities around it are booming as well. You got Wake Forest, Cary, so on and so forth. So once you kind of, if one city is booming, you do see other cities around it that it fluctuates with money and income and infrastructure. It does affect other cities. So that's a good point.
No, I'm not.
You're making excuses.
Okay, here's the deal, though. See, it's real easy to say it's excuses when I'm stating facts. And the point I'm stating is...
That's not a fact. That's just an opinion.
No, it's a fact. The state of Texas significantly has an impact economically, educationally on what happens in Houston. That's a fact.
Yeah, but
as somebody who, as a kid, traveled with my mom to rallies and events with the Metropolitan Organization at the state capitol, I understand.
Did you grow up rich?
Who?
Did you grow up rich?
No, my parents didn't even go to college.
How are you rich then?
What do you mean how?
How are you rich?
Here's how. How are you rich? No, here's how.
Yeah.
Because first and foremost, the neighborhood that I grew up in it was one of the first master plan communities by HUD. What you had in my neighborhood was you had folks, first of all, I had mom and dad, one, who also
married
hell yeah, they're still married, 56 years, who absolutely believed in education. Now, what I recognize is, so for me, in my household, what my parents emphasized, never went to college. Then my brother went to Texas A&M. I went to Texas A&M. My sister went to Texas A&M. And so that was our house. What I recognize is that somebody who is next door or across the street or around the corner did not have the situation that I had. Now, I totally get that. What I don't do is be arrogant enough to say, well, I did this. Why can't you? Because I understand that not everyone has the exact same setup, the same situation. What I'm talking about, and this is the, again.
But why not give that story of inspiration to say you can get out of it?
First of all, you say, why not? I'm sorry. You clearly have never watched my show when what I talk about consistently are these very issues. I don't sit here and go do doom and gloom. First of all, every single Tuesday on my show, I feature actual Black-owned businesses. Every single Wednesday, I feature African-Americans who have tech companies.
I love that.
Every Friday, I actually feature something called Education Matters, folks who are in the education space, school choice. I got HBCU Connect. So I do all of that. But one second.
But you know why I said that? Let me tell you why I said that. Because you said, I'm not the one that says, look at me, I got out, so can you. That's what you said.
No. Here's why I say that. Because it is arrogant when, as an individual, I'm assuming everyone else's situation is the same.
I think right here he's just saying, listen, I grew up in a married household, I had my mom and dad there, I had all the positive infrastructure there for me to succeed, for that seed to grow into a tree. Now everybody around me has the same son coming up every day, has the same mom, has the same dad growing up. But man, at the end of the day, I mean, I don't think it's arrogant, but at the end of the day, you still gotta find a way. Whether you got a single mom, single father, whatever have you, you still have to find a way. Like, that's just what it boils down to. And I think that once you start giving the reasons out, it can fall into the category of excuses. It really can. But if you have the mindset of, no matter what happens to me, no matter what happens in my life, the chances of you being successful increases greatly. That doesn't automatically mean you're gonna win everything, but it increases greatly. So this is a good conversation, man. Let's keep it going.
Individual, I'm assuming everyone else's situation is the same. That's first. Two, it's also arrogant to then not actually study and look at how, from a macro level. See, you're describing a micro level. You can always have that singular individual, or this person or that person or this family. That's micro. What I'm talking about is macro issues. And what I'm saying is, when I look at communities, that's not micro, that's macro. Even within the African American community, when you dealt with Jim Crow, you couldn't live anywhere else. You literally could not live anywhere else. Bottom line is, if you were Black and had money, and then you were Black and broke, you were literally living in the same neighborhood. After Jim Crow ends with integration, what then happened? Those African Americans who were middle class, upper middle class, began to move away. What then began to happen was you had areas where poverty increased even more so.
Why move away, though? Why move away?
Because
if you care about the community, why not stay there and change it?
Well, first of all, does anybody else move?
What do you mean?
Who the hell else don't move? How do you think suburbs were created?
But wait a minute.
What do you mean? How do you think white flight was created? So everybody else get to move, but we can't move?
But if you act like you care about the community as much as you do, stay there.
But I'll answer your question. Do you know why? Because when African Americans were living in Black neighborhoods, they also had economically depressed housing values, and the reality is they were not able to
change it. Help change it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I am. I am.
Okay,
I'll give you an idea. Are you familiar with Palmdale?
I'm going to need you to be drug tested. Seriously.
Yeah.
Do you even know today, we've done the stories in Florida, when somebody's Black selling their house?
Wow. So he's saying, why don't you just stay there? Why don't you just stay there and help improve your community? But I don't think he understands that, in some of these communities, in these rural areas, it's not safe to be living there. You hear about these rappers who make it out, stay in the same hood, stay in the same neighborhood, and end up getting, murdered. You know what I mean? Because they stay, I'm gonna stay here. I'm from my city, and it's always the place that they're from that takes them out. And I don't think, that a person that, once you become successful, it's okay for you to move away from poverty. For that to be even a statement like from coming out of him is like, doesn't make any sense. Now, I do believe that once you do make it out, you should always invest back in, whether that be building a basketball court, something for the kids to do, investing into a local YMCA, finding out a way to reduce crime so that the kids who growing up behind you in your area, which you are most familiar with, had the best successful rate of growing up without, anything crazy happening to them, whether, shots getting fired, stuff like that. But I don't know. That statement was kind of crazy. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Come on.
Today, we've done the stories in Florida. When somebody's black selling their house, the appraisers will come in and literally give them a value $100,000 to $300,000 less because they're black. You know that's actually happened, right?
You'll take one story and say that.
Oh my God!
On how many occasions has that happened?
Are you serious?
Do you think a message like
Okay, why don't you go ahead and Google? Why don't you go ahead and Google?
How many times has that happened? No, I believe it's happened, but how many times has that happened?
The New York Times literally just did a story talking about the systemic racism that exists within housing appraisals. This is a fundamental problem. I'm trying to see you're living in a different reality.
I have heard of that before, you guys. I have heard of that before. I believe a company got sued for that too, but it's not just a one-off kind of thing. The study was done. I think he might touch down on this thing, right? I mean, just let me go ahead and finish talking.
This is a fundamental problem. I'm trying to see you're living in a different reality.
What progress are you making by saying that?
What progress?
So what you're doing?
I'm trying to end that. Okay. Do you know how inherent? Okay, hold on. You said you're Middle Eastern, right?
You're trying to.
Hold on. You said you're Middle Eastern, right?
I am. Yes.
How would you feel? How would you feel?
Yes.
If you're selling your home, you've got a home that
right,
and you put upgrades in it, and your home is worth $500,000.
Yeah.
And somebody comes into your home, and they see your photos,
right,
and they see your family, and then they go back and they go $350,000. You go, what the hell?
So you tell that story.
Wait, one second.
To get people to be convinced that's happening.
It's actually
out of 1,000 appraisals.
Oh my God.
Out of 1,000 appraisals, how many times does that happen? Out of 1,000 appraisals, how many times does that happen?
You want to pull that up?
You want
him to pull that up?
That's your world, though. Out of 1,000 appraisals, how many times does that happen? Let's just say it happens.
It is a significant issue in America.
Oh my God!
All right, you guys. So that was Patrick David and Roland Martin discussing systematic racism in the U.S. Both have valid points. Like I said before, I think Patrick was leaning more towards no excuses. I'm the son of refugees. I worked hard my whole life, grew up poor, went to the military, started my business. Now I'm wealthy. So from his point of view, I see why he's saying the things he's saying. Roland came from the standpoint of, I'm successful right now. But if it wasn't for my mom and dad, maybe being together, showing me the way, showing me the route, I may not be where I'm at right now. So it's interesting to see both points of views here, kind of going at each other a little bit. Both had good points, man. So tell me what you guys think down below. And as always, let's talk about it, man. Until next time, y'all be safe out there. Peace.